My girlfriend gave the bartender her number in front of me. So I moved out that night, texted Mike, loaded my couch, TV, and coffee maker into his truck, left my key and a note on the counter, blocked her number, and she ended up moving back in with her parents. WZ Tales is back with another story. This one is about a man whose girlfriend said he did not own her after giving her number to a bartender, so he quietly moved out before she came home from the club. See if you think he waited too long to act. I need to write this down because even now it does not feel real. It happened on a Friday night at Murphy's. Nothing special. Just our usual group, wings, drinks, the kind of night that is supposed to be easy. Me, my girlfriend Emma, her friend Rachel, my buddy Mike, and a couple other people. At some point Emma went up to the bar to get another round. I was watching her, not in some jealous way, more in that tired way you watch someone when your gut has been trying to tell you something for weeks. She was laughing with the bartender, touching his arm, flipping her hair, holding eye contact a little too long. He was leaning in like he already knew he had an opening. She came back carrying the drinks with her phone in her hand and a smile on her face. "New friend?" I asked. I wasn't even accusing her. It was a basic question. She didn't look up. "Just the bartender, he's funny." "Cool," I said. "What's his name?" That was when the whole thing shifted. She looked at me like I had already done something wrong. "Why?" "Just asking." "His name is Tyler. Why does it matter?" Mike suddenly got very interested in his phone. Rachel stared hard at her drink. That alone told me a lot. People get quiet when they know something is about to happen. "It doesn't matter," I said. Oh my God, here we go." She said it loud enough that people at the next table looked over. "We're not married, you don't own me, I can talk to whoever I want." My face went hot. "I didn't say you couldn't." "You're doing that thing," she said. "That controlling thing where you ask questions like you're my dad." I asked his name, Emma. "Yeah, well, it's weird." Then she took a drink and added even louder, "We're not married. You don't get a say in who I talk to or who I give my number to." The table went dead quiet. I looked at her. "You gave him your number," she laughed, but it had a mean edge to it. "Yes. I gave him my number because we're not married and you don't own me. We're just dating." Rachel let out this nervous little laugh like maybe that would make it less ugly, but it only made it worse. Then Emma kept going. "I'm so tired of this. He acts like we're married when it's convenient for him, but then when I want to talk about moving in together or the future, suddenly he's all let's not rush things." That was a lie. A clean one. She was the one who always said she needed space. She was the one who said labels felt heavy. She was the one who pulled back anytime I tried to talk seriously about us. But I didn't say any of that at the table. I just picked up my beer and finished it. Then I set the glass down and said, "You're right." She blinked. "What?" "You're right, we're not married, you can do whatever you want." I stood up. "I'm heading out." "Are you serious right now?" "Yeah," I said. "I'm tired." I dropped cash on the table for my half and walked out before she could start again. That was the moment, even if I did not fully admit it yet. Sometimes one sentence does not end a relationship. It just reveals that it ended a while ago. I sat in my car for 10 minutes before I could drive. It was not just about the bartender. That part mattered, sure. But what really got me was the way she did it, in front of everyone. Like I was ridiculous for noticing. Like asking one calm question was somehow more offensive than her openly giving another guy her number. And if I am being honest, it was not even just that night. 2 weeks earlier, she forgot we had dinner plans because she went to happy hour with coworkers and didn't check her phone. The week before that, she posted an Instagram story from some guy's apartment at 2 in the morning. When I asked about it, she told me to stop being paranoid. When I asked if she wanted to come to my parents' anniversary dinner, she said it felt like too much pressure. But when her car needed new tires, suddenly we were serious enough that I should help pay. When she needed a dog sitter for a week, suddenly we were serious enough for that too. When she was short on rent, we were definitely serious enough then. That kind of double standard will wear you down. One person gets freedom, the other gets responsibility. One person gets options, the other gets obligations. I drove back to our apartment. We had been living there together for 8 months. She was not home yet. The group chat already had a message from her saying she was staying out and going to Club Vibe with some people. Of course she was. I sat on the couch and looked around the apartment for a long time. The couch was mine. I bought it when I first moved to the city. The TV was mine. The PlayStation. The bookshelf. The lamp my sister gave me. Most of the kitchen stuff was mine too, the coffee maker, the good knives, the cast iron pan, the plates we used when people came over. Emma had some furniture, sure. The kitchen table was hers. Those cheap chairs that never stopped wobbling were hers. She had her makeup, her clothes, random Target stuff, and a talent for making everything feel like it belonged to her no matter who paid for it. The lease was in both our names, but I paid the deposit. I covered more of the rent because I made more. Utilities were all in my name. Internet too. I kept staring at the room and thinking about what she said. "We're not married, you don't own me." And for the first time, instead of arguing with it, I accepted it. I texted Mike, "I need a huge favor." He showed up at 11:30 with his truck. The second he walked in, he looked around and said, "Dude, what's going on?" "I'm moving out tonight." He stared at me. "Are you sure?" "We're not married, Mike. She made that very clear, so I'm leaving." He looked at me another second, then nodded. "Okay, where do we start?" That is one of the best things a good friend can do, not make a speech, not slow you down, just help you lift the couch. We started in the living room. The couch was heavy and the TV stand was worse, but we got it all. The bookshelf, my gaming chair, the lamp, boxes of books, the framed photo of me and my brother that Emma always said did not match the look of the apartment. Mike glanced at my hands while I packed. "You okay?" "I'm fine." "You're shaking." He was right, I was, but I kept moving. The bedroom was stranger. I stripped my side of the bed, took my sheets, my pillows, my blanket, my clothes, my shoes, my important documents. The room looked uneven after that, half-finished, like the truth had finally become visible. "Dude," Mike said, looking around, "this is crazy." "Is it?" I said. "She doesn't want to feel tied down, so I'm untying her." The kitchen was the pettiest part, maybe, but I still took the coffee maker and the knives and the cast iron pan and the nice plates. Mike held up the coffee maker and looked at me. "You're really taking this?" "I paid for it. She's going to be pissed. She can buy her own." Sometimes people call that petty, maybe it is, but there is also something honest about taking back the things you kept providing to someone who only respected you when it benefited them. We packed the bathroom stuff. Towels, bath mat, razor, electric toothbrush, shampoo. I left her things. I was not trying to destroy her life. I was just done funding it. By 1:15, the apartment looked half empty. That was when Mike asked, "What about bills?" I sat down on the floor because there was no furniture left to sit on and started handling the boring parts. Internet, electric, water, all in my name. I forwarded the information she would need and sent a short message that the accounts would need to be transferred. I did not shut anything off immediately. I am not cruel. I just stopped carrying what was mine. "Dude," Mike said, "you're being really methodical about this." "Learned from my dad's divorce," I said. "Document everything." At 1:40 we were almost done. The apartment echoed now. Her things were still there, but the shape of the place had changed. All the parts I had built were gone. I needed to leave something on the counter. My first draft was too angry. The next one was too dramatic. Finally, I wrote one line, "You're right. I don't." I left the note on the counter with my key on top. That was enough. It said exactly what I needed it to say. No speech, no begging, no explanation she could argue with. We walked out at 1:43 in the morning. I did not look back. At 3:17, my phone lit up. Emma. I let it ring. Then the text started. "Where are you? What the hell? Did you take the couch? Are you kidding me right now?" I put the phone face down on Mike's coffee table. He came out of his room, took one look at me, went to the kitchen, and came back with 2 beers. "She figure it out?" he asked. "Yep." "You gonna answer?" "Nope." He handed me a beer. "For what it's worth, she's been treating you badly for months. We all saw it." That hit harder than I expected. Rachel even said something to her a few weeks ago, he added. Told her she was taking you for granted. What did Emma say? That you were fine with it, that you liked taking care of her. I laughed, but there was nothing funny in it. My phone kept buzzing. This is so immature, we need to talk. You can't just leave. Did you seriously take the TV and the coffee maker? You're such an ass. I blocked her number. The silence after that was immediate and beautiful, but then the group chat exploded. Rachel asking what happened. Other people trying to figure it out. Mike finally typing one line. He left. That's what happened. Maybe ask Emma why. I muted the whole chat. I didn't sleep that night. At 7 in the morning I got up, showered, and looked at myself in Mike's mirror. I looked rough but lighter somehow. Like the worst part had already happened and I had survived it. When I checked my phone, I saw the progression in her messages before I blocked her. Anger, confusion, bargaining, more anger, then desperation. It hit me then that she had been up all night too. Mike made coffee and sat across from me at the kitchen counter. Want to talk about it? And once I started, I could not stop. It all came out. The bartender. The number. The anniversary she forgot. The time my mom came to town and Emma blew her off for brunch with friends. The way she called me controlling if I asked where she was at 2 in the morning, but if I did not text her back quickly enough, I got 20 messages asking why I was ignoring her. The money. The way relationships were not supposed to be transactional whenever I needed something, but somehow became very transactional whenever she did. Mike listened to all of it and then said, "You did the right thing, man." Then why do I feel like garbage? Because you're not heartless. You cared about her. That was probably true. A little later, an unknown number called. I answered because I already knew who it was. "You can't just block me," Emma said. She was crying. "We need to talk about what?" I asked. "About you leaving, about you taking everything." "I took my stuff. You took the couch, my couch. We share everything." "No," I said, "you use my stuff. There's a difference." Silence. Then, "I can't believe you're being like this." "Like what?" So cold, so mean, over one stupid comment. It wasn't one comment. I was drunk. "You gave your number to another guy. It wasn't like that." "What was it like then?" She had no answer. Then she asked if we could meet in person. Part of me wanted to say no, but there was still that small, stubborn part of me that needed to hear her try. So we met at a coffee shop near her work. She was already there when I arrived, hair in a messy bun, yesterday's clothes, no makeup. She looked rough. I probably did too. I sat down with a black coffee and said, "So?" She fidgeted with her cup. "I don't even know where to start. Start anywhere. I don't understand why you left like that, in the middle of the night, without even talking to me. You were at the club. You could have waited. Why? So you could tell me I was overreacting." She flinched. "I didn't mean it like that." "How did you mean it?" "I was embarrassed." I actually laughed. "You were embarrassed?" "Yes, you were interrogating me about talking to the bartender." I asked his name. It felt like an interrogation. It felt like that because you gave him your number. "So what if I did?" She snapped, then caught herself. We sat there in silence for a second. "We're not married," I said for her. She looked down at her drink. "I didn't mean it like that," she said again. "I just meant you were acting possessive. Possessive because I wasn't happy that my girlfriend gave her number to another guy." "You don't trust me. Do you trust you?" She looked up with wet eyes. "That's not fair. None of this is fair." Then I said what had been building for months. "You know what's not fair? Me paying for most of our life while you tell people we're just dating. You know what's not fair? Me working around your schedule while you forget our anniversary. You know what's not fair? Me being called controlling for asking basic questions while you expect instant replies from me. I have friends. I have a life. I never said you couldn't. I asked you to respect me." She started crying, and then I asked her something simple. "When's my birthday?" She blinked. "What? My birthday? When is it?" She stared at me. "July something." "August 12th. That landed. "What's my middle name?" I asked. "What am I allergic to? What's my mom's name?" "Stop it," she said, but I didn't. Because that was the truth underneath all of it. She knew the version of me that was useful. The version that paid, carried, waited, forgave, and made life easier for her. But she did not know me. Not really. I lowered my voice. You don't know me, Emma. You know the version of me that helps you. That's not true. I love you. Do you? I asked. Or do you love having me around? She didn't answer. I finished my coffee, then I stood up and said, I think we're done here. So that's it, she asked. 3 years and you just quit. I'm not quitting, I said. I'm just done being treated like I don't matter. You do matter. Then why did I feel like I didn't? She reached for my hand. I pulled mine back. Emma, you checked out of this relationship a while ago. I just finally stopped pretending you hadn't. She was fully crying by then. People were looking. Part of me wanted to comfort her. That part of me had been trained for years, but comfort would have been a lie in that moment, so I left. 3 weeks later, I was in a studio apartment, nothing fancy, but it was mine. My couch looked good there, so did my TV, so did my coffee maker. I was sleeping better, eating better, working out again. I had stopped for a while because Emma used to say I was too obsessed with the gym. Mike came over one night with pizza and beer. Heard from her, he asked during the game. She texted a few times, asked if we could try again. What did you say? Nothing, he nodded. That probably says enough. Then he told me Rachel was still mad at me, said I had blindsided Emma, said I did not even try to work on things. I tried for months, I said. She wasn't interested in working on anything. She was interested in doing whatever she wanted while I shut up and helped pay for it. Mike nodded. That's what I told them. A little while later, my phone buzzed with an Instagram notification. Emma had posted something. I didn't open it. You miss her? Mike asked. I thought about it for a while. I miss who I thought she was, I said. I miss the idea of us. But the real version, the one who made me feel small all the time, no. I don't miss that. That was the truth. 2 months later, I was doing better. Not perfect, just better. I had gone on a date with a woman from work. Nothing serious, but it was nice. She laughed at my jokes, asked about my family, and picked up the check because she had asked me out. It was such a small, normal thing, but it felt good. Easy. Balanced. I saw Emma once after that at a mutual friend's birthday. She was there with some new guy. Tall, beard, looked like he definitely had strong opinions about craft beer and maybe a podcast. She saw me. I saw her. We both nodded. That was enough. Later, Mike asked if I was okay, and I was, really okay. Someone asked me recently if I regretted how I handled it, if I wished I had stayed and tried harder, if I could have done it in a calmer, more mature way. Maybe I could have sat her down, suggested counseling, given her more chances to apologize. Tried to fix it one last time. But here's what I learned. You can't fix someone who does not think they are doing anything wrong, and I was tired. Tired of asking for basic respect like it was too much. Tired of being serious only when there was a bill to pay. Tired of being called controlling for noticing patterns. Tired of carrying a relationship that she only wanted on the days it was convenient. So yes, I moved out while she was at the club. Yes, I took my couch and my coffee maker. And yes, I'd do it again. Because she was right about one thing, we weren't married, and I didn't own her. But she didn't get to keep using me either. The apartment situation worked itself out. She could not afford it alone and moved back in with her parents. She tried once to get me to cover part of the remaining lease, and I sent her the section showing we were each responsible for our own portions. That ended that conversation fast. The utilities got transferred. The mutual friends split. I got Mike and the people who understood what had actually been happening. She got Rachel and the ones who think leaving is always worse than disrespect. I'm fine with that. And Tyler, the bartender. From what I heard, they dated for about 3 weeks before he broke it off because she was too much drama. I laughed for a solid 5 minutes when I heard that. Now I have a balcony. Sometimes I sit out there in the morning with coffee from my coffee maker and watch the sun come up, and I do not feel guilty anymore. Not about leaving, not about the couch, not about the coffee maker, because sometimes walking away is not dramatic. It is just the first honest thing you have done in a long time. Lesson 1: if someone only wants the freedom of a relationship and none of the responsibility, believe the pattern. Lesson 2: Being called controlling for asking basic respectful questions is often a way to shut down accountability. Lesson 3. When a relationship only feels serious when bills are due or help is needed, that is not partnership. That is convenience. Lesson 4. Guilt does not always mean you made the wrong decision. Sometimes it just means you finally chose yourself. Lesson 5. Leaving does not have to be loud to be final. Quiet can be powerful too. What would you have done after that moment at the bar? And do you think moving out that same night was too much, or was it the first time he finally responded the right way?